I think that's where my kind of like thing with painting is. It's like it lies in that where it's like I'm expected to do this thing, but I'm not going to. But also like internally, there's like this ghost of like my ancestors passing. Like you need to tell a story, and
Yeah, but you can tell your story.
It's the burden of like art. It's the burden of being like Black in art. It's like, am I doing a service if I decide to go the abstract route? And you can say like abstraction is political, but at the same time, it's like I've like seen my mom at my shows and her trying to like talk about my work to her friends, and there's like no like they can't read it, they don't see it.
Welcome to What's My Thesis. I'm Javier Proenza, and today my guest is Darnell Williams. We've been discussing your Cuban lineage because you're like, it's so hidden in you.
Very much so.
Because your name is, and then you were saying that you have like, that you're, that there was a British name. We had a British aristocrat in our family called Lord Christie in our family tree.
That tracks.
Yeah. It was like a project that we did as a kid, when I was a kid, I was like, I was in British school in Italy, and I was like, oh, Lord Christie. Lordy Christie. I come from good stock. Well, cool, man. I know you through Elias Hernandez. I met you at his show at, what's that, Central Server
Gallery?
Yeah. And you guys went to USC.
Yeah.
I was just there to see Jan Muller's stuff. So I went by those studios. Those like, it looks like a corporate office. It's so crazy.
It gives startup. It's like you walk out to the courtyard. There's like a Spotify. There's a game development studio. There's like a faux Michelin star restaurant, and then there's us, and we're just like in this aquarium, pristine building. Like I was afraid to actually make work there because I'm like, am I allowed to paint in this white room?
Yeah, and there's like no privacy either.
No, I put up curtains though.
You did?
Oh yeah, they were very ghetto too. Just like I found like these really janky curtains, got me a couple tension rods from the Daiso down the street, and said, all right.
The Daiso, what's that?
Daiso, it's like that Japanese, Korean, like you buy like these really cheap things there. They have everything in like the Japanese currency listed. So, unless you know what that is, you just like.
You're like, charge me whatever you think.
I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like it's too expensive. Yeah, I'll take this. And yeah, you just go. Nothing lasts. So everything.
What do you mean? Everything just deteriorates?
It breaks in like 3 or 4 days, depending on what you get. But sometimes you get lucky and you get like good items.
So I haven't seen your work too much. Well, what did you study? We haven't done a studio visit. I've seen it on Instagram, but then it all just kind of bleeds into everybody else's.
Yeah, as such is the way of art on social media.
Oh my God. Yeah.
When I was there, I told myself I wasn't going to paint.
Okay.
Because
you didn't want to mess up those studios.
Well, that, and I don't know. I felt like the portfolio that I submitted was mostly painting, and I was like, I'm not really a painter. Or I get offended when I get called a painter. So I'm like, all right, I got to like go back to my roots. Because when I went to undergrad, I was doing mostly performance, institutional critique type work. And I wanted to kind of go back to that to like honor my ancestors, so to speak, my mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up getting sucked right back into painting. So I was like, man.
Yeah. So I mean, I think you're probably better off financially doing painting.
You say that until you see like what I did, and it was just like, I can't sell these, but it was great. It was fun.
Yeah. Well, you could probably still do both,
That's true. Yeah, you can balance the prices.
I'm sure that artist-run spaces would be happy to have a commercial artist like do. I think that happens with a bunch of people that I know of.
It's true.
But so, okay, all right, take me back. First memories of making art, like that you're like that stick to you now, stuck to your ribs, like ribstick in food.
So, the first instance I had of making art was in the 11th grade. It was Miss Ritchie's class.
Wow, dude, that late?
Yeah, Eisenhower High School, which was not really a high school. It's in Rialto. It wasn't really a high school that was known for its artistic or academic prowess. We were pretty much just trained to get into the workforce. Like I remember learning welding there. They had auto body. They had like wood shop. It was like one of those schools. And I took Miss Ritchie's class. I was terrible. I passed with a D.
I got a D in an art class too, though. So.
Couldn't draw. Couldn't
I was
do
lazy.
Shit. Me too. I was lazy and just like, I can't do this. I just barely did anything. Got a D.
Yeah.
So that was my first instance. My second instance was a few years later. I ended up going to community college. I actually wanted to be a writer and a journalist specifically. I wanted to get into sports
and then
journalism.
you saw there's no such thing.
Well, that was the thing. It was like, so this was in like,
journalist. You die if you do that for real.
yeah, I know, right? This was in like 2008-ish. Yeah, 2008. And
just after the war in Iraq. You're old enough to remember it. You were probably in high school.
Obama's on the verge of getting elected. And I remember...
And it felt so good.
It did. I was very disillusioned by hope. It was great. It was wonderful. It was a great time.
I want to have Shepard Fairey on here.
Honestly, it would be great. It was like, Shepard, what was it like when you actually drew that portrait of this wonderful man of color? And
well, I also, there's the episode that's out right now is Raul Baltazar, and his first appearance on the show, I think the episode is called something like Shepard's Ferry's murals are like a mapping point for gentrification. So
you know, when you think about it, yeah, that's a valid.
But it's just it would be funny to have him because he's just so stratosphere successful.
Yeah,
I'd also, dude, it would be hard not to be like, hey, why the shirts? All right, I just fucking talked my way out of ever having him on the show.
Nah, these are valid questions that need answers. I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
No. But through journalism, I got into black and white photography.
Okay.
And I took the worst photos imaginable. As we were talking about Jordans, I literally remember one of my like magnum opuses in this beginning photo class. I was like, I'm going to fill a china cabinet full of Jordans, and it's going to comment on consumer culture and capitalism and blackness and blah, blah, blah. Like, and they were these horrible photographs. And the teacher
in black and white?
In black and white.
Oh,
and the teacher was like, you know.
They might have worked better in color.
Right. Nah, they wouldn't have worked in any form. But
what is it that makes you? I feel you're cringing. I don't mind it. I don't think it's that bad. But like,
it was so bad because like
it's your first art. You know,
it was.
Come on.
Shout out to my friend Jarrell Parker. He loaned me all those Jordans because I did not have them.
Yeah,
this dude had like an entire collection. And he was like, all right, if you do this, you know, he had to come and supervise me doing. He wanted to make sure like I didn't mess anything up. I literally had to put like paper towels under some of them because he's like, these can't touch the blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever. Okay, cool. But it was just funny.
But again, I want what is out of that, like, I just like the idea of like, what is it that triggers the cringe for you? Is it the conceptual conceits?
Yeah,
that's what it
is. Yeah. It was just like
because we can't see the image, but I feel like you're like.
No, I genuinely thought I was saying something when I did that, and I was just like, even like maybe a few months after that, I was like, that was the stupidest thing I ever tried to do.
I think it would have worked if your approach was a portrait of your friend.
Maybe. You
know, that changes the context. And then it's about your friend instead of about consumerism and all of that. Yeah. It's about your friend being a consumerist, but as a mode of being. Yeah. So that's why I don't think it's that bad. Dude, I had fucking awful.
It was bad.
Those are your first, like, those are your first conceptual ideas.
Yeah.
So are you still that conceptual, or are you doing more intuitive stuff? You said are you mostly painting now? Mostly painting, but I do a lot of sculpture, performance, installation. Like, I'm all over the place. I jump a lot, which I'll talk about. But the photo that actually set everything off for me was the last photo I took. We had to do a portrait assignment, and I decided to take a portrait of my stepfather. And he was a little bit older than my mom. And this guy grew up in the rural South, Jim Crow, never went to school. Wait, but it matters. White guy or black guy? Black guy. Okay. Dude, let's be very clear. He was 102% black with a 2% margin of error. So you've grown up here. Your family's California. Yeah, my mom was born in Oklahoma, but they moved out to South Central Watts when she was super young. People forget that like this is one of the whitest. Like the West Coast is like there's more black people in Florida than there is in California. It didn't used to be that way, which is like LA used to be, especially like where we were.
And I remember like 347 East 98th Street. Like that used to be a super black area.
Like upper middle class kind of, or
No,
middle class?
like very working class, lower class, like hardworking. This was like in the height of gang culture. So like there was a lot of like, I believe they were in, I'm not gonna shout out the gang, but there was a very specific gang that was around that area, and we had to be my mom was very mindful about how she would dress me, even though I was like a child. Like she was like, So there were things like that.
I'm sorry for laughing. Just
it's funny. It is funny.
That's like just gangbangers stepping up to a 5-year-old.
Dude,
they would do shit like that. That's not funny if it's true.
Nah, like back then they kind of.
I was thinking it in like a Chappelle Show sketch.
You know what's funny? It's like it's kind of like that now. Back then they did have more of a code. It's just like, all right, if they're clearly someone that's gangbanging, then we'll step to them. But like now it's just like all bets are off. It's like, dang.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not. It's changed a lot from what I've observed. But my stepdad, black guy, just be clear.
Jim Crow
South, never went to school. He got forced into labor by his own uncle. Like he used to work on a farm. His mother was off in New Orleans working to send them money back. So he never went to school.
How do you learn to read and write in those situations?
He never did.
Okay.
Which is the crazy part. So he never learned how to read and write formally. He ends up running away when he's like 13, gets to Texas first, and then from Texas moves to California and just got jobs cleaning houses, ends up picking up auto repair as a trade, then ends up getting a job at LA Metro as a specialist mechanic. He used to fix alternators. Oh, wow. Like specifically. Yeah, he was a Class A mechanic, so you needed a Class A driver's license to do that. What he did to kind of skirt that, because you have to pass a written test, someone would give him the test and he would sit there and work with the person and basically memorize the length of things to get the answers correctly, because it was multiple choice.
Oh, okay.
So he would just like memorize kind of the length. He would recognize it basically. If you asked him to do this test orally, he would ace it. Yeah. But like written, he had to like kind of skirt around it. Like he would recognize some words, but if you gave him a book, he could never read a book.
Wow. But that's crazy.
But he was brilliant.
But that's happening now too to kids too, which is so crazy.
I know. Like they don't know how to read books. Like my friend Jason, who's a high school teacher, he was telling me that like now a lot of students, like if you give them something, they like to type a paper or like to write a letter, they start at the bottom because they're so used to like typing in captions and like things like that. So like they don't like. What? Yeah. It's so weird, right?
Oh man. Yeah, that hurts my brain.
We're in a
I there was like a thing on YouTube about how like kids want to be writers, but they don't have a favorite writer. Yeah. And I haven't like never read a book. I think they maybe see it like more from the this is me just speculating, but they maybe see it more as like a lifestyle and like, then but that's so crazy because like it wasn't that like, bro, Harry Potter, like all that shit, like literacy was like not that long ago that people were like, that young people were into reading. I
mean, when you think about it though, Harry Potter, that was like 30 years ago almost now. Like we're approaching like that point. The first book?
The first book, yeah, but I mean that thing was like a generational thing. That's my point. It's like 7 books, no? Isn't it?
I don't remember. I never read any of them.
18.
I didn't read. I wasn't, you
didn't read that nerdy shit.
No, I read comics, man. I needed.
What are your comics?
Oh my god. Embarrassingly enough, Spawn. I loved Spawn. Back when like this was like
it was a black comic.
Yeah. Pete Todd McFarlane, man. Like Spawn was great. Also, I went to Catholic school, so like it ties.
You're Catholic?
I'm not Catholic, but I went to Catholic school.
Okay.
My parents were jerks like that. When we moved out to the IE, my mom hated the fact that all the schools were on different tracks. So like some schools would have like spring offs. Everybody used to get summer. My mom hated that. She's like, you're going somewhere where they have summers off, and that's it. So I had to go to Catholic school because it was the only Catholic school. I'm like, yeah, this works because you'll get summers off. And I had to go. And I literally did the whole thing. Like I learned the entire Catholic mythology. Apologies for calling it that. But I learned the entire structure of the church and just like everything. They used to make me read like biblical passages during mass on Tuesdays because I had the deepest voice as a kid. So it was just like the embarrassing thing of me going up there like a reading from the Gospel of Luke. And you'd just be like, oh God, this is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, you definitely don't have the deepest voice in this podcast, though.
Thankful. Well, I don't know about that.
No,
I am speaking.
You still have it.
I gotta speak up a few octaves because otherwise you wouldn't understand. It would just sound like.
Well, yeah. Well, then you also, if you learn the mythology, you ought also know that the reason that you can justify that there is a God when shit is going on like it is now is that this is Satan's domain. Satan rules over earth. Heaven is the domain of God. Yeah. But anyway, I've been getting into it, like, just like, what the fuck did they teach me? Yeah, going back and being like, what are these stories? And I was talking to my mom about a movie. I forget what it was, and she was like, "It's like a tragedy, like a Greek tragedy." And I was like, "Yeah." And we were just laughing at how awful those stories are. And like Icarus, like, god damn, dude, that's a bad one.
Let me fly to the sun with these waxy ass
your dad teaches you, just like bonding, and you just fuck it up and you kill your son because of his hubris, and that's the lesson.
You're like, well, what did you learn? It's like,
well, tell me a little bit more about art making. Yeah, like, so you didn't have like
I didn't have any formal training whatsoever with it.
You didn't have any like experiences as a little kid, like that you remember?
No, dude.
Is that like, can I blame the education system for that?
No. I mean, you can blame Catholic school for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, like, I didn't really come from a family that was very much artistically inclined. Like,
so what did they think when you were like, yo?
Well, my dad had, so to finish the story about the photograph, like, I took a photo of his hands because they were so like just like wrought with like his life, the story of his life in his hands. They were just these wrinkled, gnarled, just like crazy hands. And my dad didn't get it. My mom was like, yeah, okay. They obviously didn't see a future in it. And I was just toiling away in community college anyway. I wasn't going to go anywhere.
Where were you at?
Chafee.
Okay.
Yeah. But through that photograph, it introduced me to two mentors that taught there, one of which is like a internationally exhibited artist that I had never heard of at the time, named Mitchell Syrup. He was teaching there, and he was very adamant about me like actually locking in and like just getting, he didn't want me to be an artist in general because he saw me get disillusioned early. But I was like, I'm going to go to Cal Arts. And he's like, no, you're not. You're going to finish your IGETC. We're going to get you into a Cal State or UC.
IGETC?
Yeah. Oh, so back then they had like a thing. If you completed a certain amount of GEs specifically, you could transfer into the UC system or Cal State system, but you had to like complete these things, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I end up applying to UCLA knowing I'm going to get rejected. I end up applying to USC thinking maybe I got a shot because they're a private school. I got rejected from USC. UCLA accepts me on the condition that I complete the IGETC. At this time, my dad had already had a stroke. So he was completely like out of the picture, unfortunately.
Was he able to communicate in any way? No.
No. He had to live out the rest of his days in a nursing facility. Like it was like that thing. My mom would visit every day. I would visit whenever I could. But I couldn't even tell him that I got the call. And I'll never forget getting the call because I was like, I wasn't going to finish applying until Mitchell literally sat me down and made me do it, even though he knew I was like really messed up about my dad. He was like, no, we're going to sit here. You're going to finish that. I'm going to tighten up your portfolio. We're going to submit it off. We got that thing in at like 2 minutes before the deadline because that's how much he like, yeah.
I bet you that those inboxes are so flooded at midnight at all universities.
Now that I teach, I see it. Like I'm like, all right, deadline's 11:59, and my phone blows up at like 11:58 and 30 seconds. I'm like, you guys had all week for this. But yeah, so like I end up getting the call from UCLA, and they're like, we noticed you did an RSVP for the art department's open house. We were just asking if there was a reason why, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't complete my IGETC, so I'm not even going to waste your guys' time. I know I'm not going to get into UCLA. And the lady goes, oh, hold on 1 second. I was like, all right. She comes back like 2 minutes later and says, well, you're what they consider a talents-based admission, so they're just going to let you complete your GEs here. And I remember like hearing that and like my heart sinking into my stomach because I'm like.
So that was for your BFA?
Yeah.
And you did it at UCLA?
Yeah.
What was your portfolio? That was photographs?
It was all photo.
Okay.
Not even good photos. They were just like maybe a handful of decent ones and a handful of these like kind of experimental things I was trying. But my statement was well written. Somebody pulled something because I don't know, they don't do that often.
Yeah.
So I was able to get into UCLA, and the second I got there, I was like, all right, I got to run with this and figure it out.
And that's where painting started?
That's technically, so painting didn't come until a year after. When I first got there, I took a new genres class because I was kind of reading up on like what new genres was. And I was like, okay, this is kind of like a nice little segue from photo, but I can still use what I learned in photo here. So it's like moving video, performance, whatever. So I was like, all right, I can figure this out. And I'll never forget the first day of class. I'm walking down the hill to get to the art building. And I was like, oh yeah, let me look up my professor. And I'm on my phone and I'm on the Wikipedia page of Andrea Frazier. This was my first like university professor. And I was like, huh. And I was like, oh, I should be scared right now, huh? And that partnership, that mentorship actually ends up changing everything for me.
Nice.
Yeah, which was, awesome. To this day, still very close.
So you're like, you get insulted when people call you a painter.
Yes.
So what because you do, is it because it's limiting, it's cutting out the other stuff that you do, or is it because you're like anti-painting tradition, or what is it that triggers you from painting? Because because I mean, obviously, like I used to do photography and now I paint because I draw. So drawing is an extension of painting. I don't paint. I draw paint.
Right. Right.
But just because it's like easier than fucking, sitting there with a coloring pencil to make a big piece, you know, like absolutely. That, like scale is really why I paint. Yeah. Other than that, like I would love to just be able to draw. I would probably be, I don't know. I mean, I fucked up one the other day and I was like so angry I had to get drunk.
It does that.
And it was one of the, because my new mantra is don't fix anything, especially in drawings, because like whatever, you can do so much damage. Yeah. Right? Like it's just like whatever. You drew it, it's a drawing. Doesn't have to be perfect. But yeah. And I fixed it, and I fucking made it so much worse, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I was like, "Fuck." But yeah. So okay. So then, sorry, I deviated from the question. Yeah. What is it about painting that you don't fuck with? My
own insecurities about it.
Okay. So like, I relate.
So when I say it, it's like I don't want to be.
But why does it offend you?
It doesn't.
You were just speaking like.
I think it's a mental thing for me. It's like I'm so driven by my own personal insecurities in art in general, and painting, I hate to say it, but I do hold in a very high regard. Yeah. Like a lot of my mentors are serious painters. My best friends are like great painters. Some of the greatest people I've studied with, like Elias, for example. And he's an amazing painter.
Yeah, but I mean, that guy's just
I could never do what Elias does.
I don't think many people could.
Exactly. So like to be held in that same category, I feel like it's doing it a disservice kind of, but it also motivates me to like, how can I find my niche in this? Like, what can I do?
So you just don't feel like you're there yet?
It's not even that. It's more like I don't know. It's such a loaded word, painter.
Yeah. No, I get it. I had a hard time with the term artist, so I'm not going to press you too much. Yeah. No, I just kind of wanted to figure out, because you said offended, and it doesn't sound like that was like, it sounds like you maybe misspoke. Yeah. And so, yeah, I totally get the sense of like the burden of it, of like, it just like makes you uncomfortable. I don't feel that way anymore, especially because like it's become my identity that I'm an artist podcaster. Yeah. So even when I haven't been making art because I've just been so busy, like, I mean, that keeps me, I'm having art conversations. Yeah. So that is how I came over that. But everybody's got to go through their own shit. I'm not telling you to start a podcast.
No.
That's a lot of work.
I can't. Yeah.
No. But anyway, I'm not going to pry any further. I understand that insecurity.
Fine. I like the prying. It's fun though.
Yeah. No.
It makes me unpack. It's like, why do I hate these things? It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No. There's no hostility. But I mean, my point is, I get it. We don't need to pick at it anymore. I totally understand that sense. So okay. So then. What are we working with, like motif wise, like what's interesting, like here's a very obvious question. Do you do black figuration? Do you not do black figuration? How do you feel about it?
I do not do black figuration. I enjoy it sometimes. Most of the time I enjoy it, actually.
Is there an expectation that you would do it?
So I think
people pushing you.
I think that's where my kind of like thing with painting is. It's like, it lies in that, where it's like, I'm expected to do this thing, but I'm not going to. But also, like, internally, there's like this ghost of like my ancestors past saying, like, you need to tell a story. And but you can tell your story. It's the burden of like art. It's the burden of being like black in art. It's like, am I doing a service if I decide to go the abstract route? And you can say like abstraction is political, but at the same time, it's like, I've like seen my mom at my shows and her trying to like talk about my work to her friends, and there's like no, like, they can't read it, they don't see it, which I understand. But
wait, so you're doing abstraction?
Yeah.
So what is it that they don't understand? They just, is it like is it an art, like, I guess like black figuration would be more accessible maybe for somebody, for like, I don't want to use the term layperson, but uninitiated into the art, whatever bullshit we make up about it that we all agree is true.
Oh yeah, it's true. Like, black figuration is very accessible, but it's also so highly commodified. Yeah. Where it's like, I feel like I love it, but I can't engage with it. It doesn't do what I need it to do for my practice. Yeah. And like, so I kind of started jabbing at myself because I do love abstract expressionism. Shout out to Franz Klein's Ghost. I love
you, CIA plant.
I know, that's the other part where it's like,
I'm joking.
I love Rothko and those guys.
I like their stuff too, but whatever, dude. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Go ahead. And you don't have to justify your love for it.
I feel like I kind of have to. That's what my practice is. It's a justification of things. So like, that's where I've kind of like, so my thesis show, for example, which I gave this obnoxious title, The Incomprehensible Politic of Mark Making. Mm-hmm. And
that is an obnoxious title, but it
started off as a joke.
It seems like you're trying to needle me.
it literally started off as a joke because they were like, all right, I was like, you know what? I'm going to title it this thing, and I'm going to give a presentation about it and see what happens.
I mean, it's not true.
Yeah.
It's definitely true.
Because everybody.
It's like cheeky. I see the intent behind it. It's not like organically, like it's not accidentally obnoxious. It's right. It's like in your face obnoxious.
Exactly. It's like every artist is a mark maker. So like, I hate it. I don't know. It's like when everybody says like they engage with mark making, it's like, well, yeah, that's what living is. Living is making marks. Like, that's what we do. We make marks on, it's not just art, it's everything. And I was thinking about this treasure trove of documents that every black man has in his...
The Epstein files.
Not the pre-Epstein. Pre-Epstein. This was like the Jackie Robinson of Epstein files. COINTELPRO. And I'd been sitting on it since my undergrad days, and I was like, I want to do something with this, but everybody's done everything with this, and blah blah blah. And then it got to a point where, like, I don't know, like I was in kind of a rut in the middle of grad school, and I just started flipping through the things. And then I realized, like, I don't really even care about what's in the documents anymore. We know what's in the documents. Like, it's evident, like the complete discrediting of Black power movements, of Latino movements, of all these like civil rights groups. But for whatever reason, I'm drawn to the formal qualities of this document. Like, it's beautiful. If you actually like just keep the redacted marks and eliminate the text, I found those to be beautiful and almost like CIA inspired paintings. So what I did was I just started like kind of going over them all, finding common motifs, how the toner like breaks down in some areas after you print it off a million times and you get like those little specks and everything. There's some beauty in that. And so what I did was I just made these giant wall-sized panels of those motifs, where I just like tried to recreate those as like paintings. And I don't know, I found that very fun to do because like it's also me positioning myself like I can be an abstract artist because this is talking about a very specific moment in Black history. So it's doing something, but also it's not at the same time because I'm not so explicit about it.
But yeah, I mean, I also think like COINTELPRO is like the realm of like Vietnam veterans who like, you know, it's not even that Black.
Yeah.
It's not Black coded to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I get why it is, why it resonates with Black people, but I'm saying like that shit was broadly fucked up.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, like you go through and there are specific points where like they would make like these fake things about the Nation of Islam. Like they had like these little comics they would make about like the Nation of Islam, showing how like they were robbing people, basically like my money's this, like these giant, like whatever reason. I'm like, wow, somebody really commissioned this. Like they are so creative.
Yeah.
They are so creative with your tax dollars. It's amazing.
And they've gotten so bad at it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So as we come to now in the Epstein files,
they're in like an entitlement mode.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like,
go ahead.
The Epstein files. So like you brought that up and I was like, these things are like the Temu version of COINTELPRO. Like nobody went through by hand and
they
did
don't have
this.
The artistry.
It doesn't have the artistry. They did it in Adobe Acrobat, the free version. Because people,
I think I heard that there was just a hack too, that like they found more stuff.
They did.
Like this was in the last couple of days. Yeah. Okay.
So,
I'm glad to know that's bro, because that shit might be unredacted.
Depends on who got it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not saying any conspiracy things, but depends on who got it.
Every conspiracy is valid. we're post-truth, man. We're at a place where we're like, I hear things, I hold them, and I wait for one of them to come true. And that's when I believe it. But I reserve the right to re-examine things later.
Oh
man, the exhaustion, we bring it up and the exhaustion just hits you. We were all energetic.
Yeah, now
now it's like, oh fuck this reality. Well, I relate. I also do abstraction, and I relate to that to what you're saying, because like, well, first of all, no one wants to see Cuban art these days. Like, I think that like we're not one of the good ones in terms of Latinos, and so, but also like I lived in Miami when I was like 12 to like 18. You know, like I had the British accent, you know, like I was like an outcast when I came back to the US. I hadn't lived in the US. My first memories of living in the US are from there.
Wow.
You know, like I remember visiting and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, like I think it's a weird expectation for like, you know, that's why it's like it's almost the elephant in the room, especially like Black Figuration. Like every time that it sucks that it is like part of the dialogue when a Black artist comes here, because it's almost like you have to exist in relation to it. I felt that way when I was in Miami, and all the shit is like from when I was growing up had some tinge of like exilio, diaspora shit, you know, because it was being made by first generation Cubans and stuff like that. Not everybody, you know, Bert Rodriguez had some pretty abstract or some pretty conceptual stuff, but like it's still Cuban bent, you know, like the politics are not like not Miami Cuban, you know. So I think that's an interesting thing, and I kind of also am in defiance of that. And like if you look at what I'm doing, it's all like overstimulation and culture and dopamine, you know, which is like what I live now. So I understand that. What other kind of things, like modalities, do you like to work in terms of like abstraction? This was what you graduated with recently? This was when was your graduation show?
25, May of 25.
May of 25.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It would have been interesting to see it. It's all black and white.
Most of it was black and white.
Maybe some yellow highlighter.
There was well, there were 2 performance videos too that I did, and they were like cross projected across from each other.
Yeah.
And it's of me painting with a white arm behind a canvas. So like I'm like reaching out behind it. And I'm like making just like these gestures in front of me and using my body as like a brace to like. And those are like kind of cross projecting. They're cross projecting from each other and being dissected completely by the panels, because I had them go from wall, floor, wall. So like, and I pushed in a floating wall. So basically I just made like a corridor for viewers to like go through. And it was actually kind of fun because I didn't realize how much of a, I don't know, it looked like a, I don't know, it was really kind of creepy.
It's always cool when you actually experience the things, you know, and the reactions are different. Like I remember like, I was working on this piece for a long time. And then when I saw people like laughing at it, I was like, oh shit, that wasn't something that I expected, but I love it. You know, like it was printing my receipts of like, of purchases. So people were like, oh, Trader Joe's, I go to that Trader Joe's, you know, and it was like, it's just a reaction that you don't expect. But I like that once you know, you have this idea, but it takes on its own, relationship to how people react to it.
Yeah. No, it's always good to have those too. Cause it's like, it might not have resonated the way I expected it to, but someone's having a response. Which is always a good feeling, regardless of. Well, actually, I take that back. It's not always a good feeling, but most of the time, if it's not malicious, it's a good feeling.
Have you had malicious feedback?
Thankfully, no. I haven't had my Chappelle moment yet where I was in blackface and somebody laughed in a way they shouldn't have laughed. No, I haven't had that moment yet.
Wait, Chappelle was in blackface at one point?
I don't know if you remember. That was like why he walked off his show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that he was in blackface. I thought he was metaphorically in blackface.
No. He went full literally? Minstrel show. Because it was like, you can still look at this sketch. I think it's on YouTube. But it was like him, like, he was ordering chicken on a plane. They were giving him the menu. And like, the woman was like, well, we have fish, we have chicken. And like a minstrel, minstrel, you know, show garb would go, you know, you want that chicken? And he's like trying to like ignore it. But he said when he was doing that, he heard a white crew member laughing in a way that didn't feel like it was like, and I always think about that. I was like, well, what were they supposed, like you did that. Like, I don't know. That was a weird one. But it was like younger Chappelle.
Bro, but that show was like out of this fucking world.
It was amazing.
It was like I don't think I've seen anything take over culture in a way like that where like
not at all.
Yeah.
I remember like I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, we would all stay up late, watch it, and then we couldn't wait to like talk about it in the first period. Like, dude, you watch Chappelle show? Yeah. The Clayton Bigsby sketch, I was like, oh my God, this is
it. Dude, that became like a movie and
it
shit.
Did.
You know?
It was amazing. I was like, yo, this was like, that was my first like foray into performance art. I just didn't even know it. I was like, this is legit performance art.
Yeah. Well, tell me more about that, because I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Performance art recently makes me like, I feel like when I was at the Roski Studios, I was like, there was somebody that was a performance artist and they were talking about it, and I was like, I'm not going to that studio. And okay, I've seen great performance art. I'm not saying all of it, but it is so frivolous.
I don't know. It's really.
I'm gonna get kids. I'm canceling myself. I'm not, dude. I'm joking. I do like performance, but it is my blind spot in terms of like things that are not like, they stand outside of the working class. Like what people are doing with labor and performance art, I feel is so. Like, that's what I mean by it's frivolous. Like a working person, try to explain it to them. I think you can explain painting easier. Does that make sense?
No, of course.
I'm a hater though, so it's okay if people are angry at me.
It's cool. Like, there are things where like I'll invite like people to come if I think like, okay, I think they'll be able to access this, even though they're not used to it. But then there's some things like you say that are kind of like out there. I'm like, I'll just go to this one by myself. I don't want to like make them think that all performance art has to be a certain type of, because I think that's the other knock with it, is like people think that performance artists are all just like out there on this like.
Yeah, and I think that like a lot of white lady performance artists, their art is about like endurance and like physical, like, you know, self-harm kind of stuff, like crawling through the streets kind of shit. And like, I'm like, you're a white lady.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Because like you compare that to like someone like Pope L, who was like doing those Wall Street crawls.
Yeah, exactly. That
and
was
that
like,
made like so much sense, especially you know, given the history of like Black labor building this country in general, and then like Black, you know, being a Black body in New York at the time, and just
was he upper middle class at any point? Or no, he was just like a poor dude doing it. Yeah, that's different. Yeah. You know, the context matters a lot, and I think that people are. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, my point is that I have the reason I didn't pick at it. I'm going outside of my comfort zone. Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you about it because you are a performer. I haven't seen your performance, but thankfully. I'm sure you have. You're not a white lady crawling through the mud.
No, I do try to. The thing with performance art, that the way I engage with it is I have to kind of accept that I'm making fun of myself.
Okay, yeah.
So like when I do something, it's never like meant to be just this outwardly heavy thing. It's meant to like kind of draw you in with humor, but also like in a court,
I fuck with that, yeah.
In like a court gesture in a Shakespearean play kind of way. Like,
yeah.
I'm making fun of myself for contributing to this system and blah, blah, blah. Like the painting videos, like I'm making fun of myself. Like my arm was painted white because I feel like no one really questions why a white artist would make an abstract painting. But like if you're Black and you do it, or if you're of color and you do it, it's like, well, why don't you do figuration? You know what I mean? It's just like, or landscape or something. I'm like, nah, it's not my thing. And I was like, man, if I don't even have to be white. If I just had a white appendage that could make these paintings and people can see me doing it, maybe I can get like away with it. So that was just like a way for me to like kind of justify it. So like I did the thing, and it's funny because in some of it, like I use my Black arm to like do like some of the handing off of things. Like, here you go, take this.
The assistant.
Yeah. Like the assistant, the Black assistant. So
yeah.
But it's also just like kind of make fun of myself. Like at the end of the day, I'm making art. I'm very privileged to do it. And it's like,
yeah. No, I think the whole thing is privilege. I think that even just being able to take time to like, I don't think that it's any, but I think that it's more accessible to people when you're like, oh, you're trying to sell that, you know?
Yeah. See, I don't make those to sell. That's the funny part. Like when I make those, it's mostly just to show. Like,
yeah.
I don't expect anybody to like who.
It's an expression of trying to communicate. I'm sorry, I set the tone so bad for performance.
Good. It's fine.
I'm like, defend performance art to me. But no, I dig it, and I think I'm also kind of a bitch, and I wouldn't. It's
really tricky.
There's a Freud quote that I've never been able to find, but teacher read to us, which is about how like the artist, he like wants the credit, but he wants it displaced. Mm-hmm. You know, that's more my comfort zone. So tell me a little bit more, like who are some of the performance art people that you like? Educate me. Like you said Pope. What other stuff did he do?
William Popel. He did those. He did these like very grotesque, abject, I guess is the better word, performances where he would cover himself, like he was sitting on a toilet and just covered himself with like white paint, white flour, just white things, like making himself white. So honestly, that was clearly a direct influence in the decision to make my arm white for that one piece. Most recently, my own cohort mate, Kio Gutierrez, she's fantastic, from Guadalajara. She does a lot of work mostly around the environment, but also the femicides that happened there in her hometown. So
in Guatemala, I just talked to Estefania Asip. Mm-hmm. She's like the Patreon one now. They were going to kidnap her. Jeez. She was like being threatened to be kidnapped. So she had to move to a different place. It's like crazy. Yeah. I'd be more interested in a performance piece about.
Yeah.
About like
clearly that's like,
yeah.
Oh man. But obviously like I was trained by Andrea Frazier, whose works I always like enjoy because they were just funny to me. Like I think I ended up writing a paper about this too, but Andrea's work, I think now, because it is everywhere. People kind of forget how like much ground that she broke with those, like the museum tours and just like embodying this like volunteer Stepford wife kind of character and just like talking, like she was very, very good at that, and just like being able to switch it up for like other things too. She's amazing. Roddy McMillan, he does performance art too, but he's mostly known as like a painter sculptor. But I did pick up a lot from him. He would do like a lot of funny, because Roddy's a very stern guy, but like his performances is where he kind of lets loose. Like he did a whole thing where he did this thing where he was singing in a priest robe, but it was all circled around Clarence Thomas wanting to go to, because Clarence Thomas was supposed to be a priest. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
He actually upset his father because his father said, I want to pay for your education, but you have to go to seminary after. He ended up going to law school instead. Was
it a Catholic priest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is the connotation when you say priest. And it would be a pastor or something else. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Clarence Thomas was on the right track, though. Like, I think maybe the dad was thinking the church used to be so powerful. Mm-hmm. And like, if you want power, he went the right route.
No, he went the right and wrong routes, didn't he?
Well, I mean, you could argue that putting a pubic hair on a Coke is just boys being boys. Dude, can you imagine?
No, I can't. I think.
What a crazy fucking, oh my God.
It's creepy.
But he did have power. I would, if it wasn't for the Epstein files, I was like, maybe he just didn't like kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, Clarence Thomas. Anyway, but yeah, like.
No, there's definitely good performance art out there, yeah. and like I think that like I was thinking of something that I really did like, but I forgot. But yeah, it. All of this shit is frivolous, right? Like, so it's where my guilt.
You sure that's not from Catholicism?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I say that every episode. That shit hurts.
I'm not even Catholic and I have Catholic guilt.
I know,
Catholic school like does a really good job of like beating that into you. They're like,
they did corporal punishment in your
no, I just meant like the actual psychological
yeah,
beating.
No, it is like a beating.
Guilt.
Yeah.
You're like, why do I feel guilty about this? I shouldn't.
I've said this before, but when I was in Italy, the people that would give us injections were the nuns. And I was like, damn, that's like living up to the fucking hype of just being evil and causing pain.
Yikes.
Yeah, no, but that's crazy. The Clarence Thomas. Wow. And it's also pedestrian and tame now.
Mm-hmm. Like people forget, like, oh, that's the tip of the iceberg. Not even the tip of the iceberg. That's just like the air around the tip of the iceberg.
I wonder if like to some degree we're in this place where like everything is so bad that like everybody gets a pass for horrible things that are not as bad as child what's it? Pedivore is
that a thing?
That's it's not just it's not the other one.
Yeah.
It's pedivore is like when you want to eat children.
Jeez.
Anyway, let's go back to art.
Please.
The people that fund our frivolous pursuits, let's not discuss them because we want them to not feel judged and buy our paintings.
Yeah, of course not. Never.
So what's next for you, man? What have you do you have the grad school blues or post-grad blues? Postpartum depression, lack of facilities, lack of all of that stuff, attention, people looking at your art all the time and being like, hey, I think you should do this, or this is interesting, giving you a piece? Or is that like, you're in the studio all by yourself now?
Nah, well, this is the thing, like reality sets in hard. I started working. I got very fortunate. Like I'm teaching a couple classes right now, so I'm doing really well. Like in terms of like making it from month to month, which is all honestly postgraduate. That's all you can ask for. It's like, all right, can I land on my feet and then kind of start climbing from there? Cool.
You're teaching at school, a college?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Teaching at Chaffey College in Rancho Cucamonga and USC, a couple of classes there as well.
Cool.
So got really lucky with that.
So you got really lucky that you get to drive.
Yeah. Well, thankfully I don't have to drive to Rancho Cucamonga. It's a asynchronous online photo class. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
all right. How does that work?
It's a lot of module building and just like having like, oh man, it's almost like an admin job.
Okay.
This is like the future. This is the future that they want with like distance ed. Yeah. And it's frightening because I'm also realizing the students don't, and if you're watching this, they don't read everything. They're just more interested in completing it like it's a game.
Yeah.
So it's like, I need to get this done. But it's like they're not retaining the information or they're not even reading the instructions, which is like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of just basic comprehension that's being lost through online education. It's not even really a thing anymore. It's frightening.
I just saw the thing, like what Anthropic released, like what the jobs are, and they are not highly educated positions anymore.
Really?
You know, yeah, it's all healthcare practitioners and stuff like that, healthcare, grounds maintenance, stuff like that. And I realized this the other day when I was sitting at my computer doing stuff for the podcast, because I used AI, and basically, I think the vision for like jobs that would use AI is like you no longer know anything about anything. You don't go to school to learn information or anything like that. You don't know anything. You only know how to write prompts to get to the information that the thing has. Because I have these prompts that take three something minutes for it to run, and I see it talking to itself, right? Like, because you know how it'll be thinking when it goes really long and it's a very detailed prompt. What's it called? It'll be like, blah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And let's get those things, and it just keeps doing that for like 3 minutes. And then it gives me my response. And the reason I have those prompts is because I asked it to write it for me. So it's this process of all you need to know is get the machine how to give you the results that you want. You don't actually have to know anything. I don't know how to write prompts, right? I don't know how to write prompts. I know how to get the machine to write the kind of prompt that I want. And I know I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, this prompt is limiting me, right? Because I asked it to do something and it followed my directions, but I didn't know how to ask it to maximize, what like, for example, I was like, give me an optimized SEO thing. And then it starts to recommend things, right? And then like, it'll write me the prompt and it'll be like, you should do this, this, and this. Or hey, this would really help. This would really help, and it slowly like gets you there. And then I'm like, all right, just give me everything. You don't have to get approval from me. Just maximize it. Just fucking pad it so thick and dense, and then it does it. And that's how I get those prompts. I don't even read them. I don't even know what the fuck is in them, but it gets me the results that I'm looking for perfectly, right? And it actually, like, my CTR or my click-through rate on YouTube has gone up because I started trusting it to do it. But that's like basically like how coding is going to work too, right? Like all the coding is going to be like, I need you to write, no, this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, you only need to like, you don't really,
It's almost like we're being forced into these positions of like being the sports psychologist for the machines.
Yeah.
It's like you have to ask the right questions for it to like.
And it doesn't know. It doesn't know sometimes. Like for example, I was having this huge problem where it kept drifting. I would ask it I would give it the transcripts from the podcast, and I would ask it for the time codes, and it would give me wrong time codes. And it kept telling me all this bullshit. And then I was like, you know what? Instead of sending it a text file, because even I have problems scrolling, I'm going to send it a Word document. Fix the problem. It didn't know how to fix the problem itself, right? And so it's like sometimes you'll just go down for like hours, and then you realize this thing doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about.
That's nutty.
It's crazy, but this is what they want. This like, and I think that basically what it is, it's like, how you see in sci-fi movies where you have like people just sitting at at computers like that, like, yeah, like you're basically just gonna have to fight with sometimes I get angry at it, because it's like, why are you being so obtuse? But yeah, I don't know, man. It's interesting where all of this shit is going. Where do you think painting is gonna be in that space? I think people are still gonna want that shit though.
Yeah, it's what's funny. It's like for like 10 years, I worked in like markets, like grocery stores, wine stores, managing them, and I went from like a larger chain to a smaller boutique-y one. And you realize there starts to become a demand for the boutique-y ones because people are tired of like, there's a certain aesthetic that comes along with like, it's the only reason why Erewhon is still in business. It's like they, as a store, like their products aren't that superior or whatever, right? But they marketed this way of making it feel like a very individualized, personal experience. And people are lacking that in this era of, Amazon hyper-capitalism, right? Yeah. So like painting, I think, is still going to be that same type of thing where it's like, I don't know, you don't get like, I don't know, I'm not going to demean anybody, but you know what I mean? Like there's paint, it's demean all somebody. So cyclical.
Why don't you demean somebody?
No, because I don't want to make one version of painting feel superior to the other or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, it's all cyclical. Like all of it's going to come back around. And I don't think that painting's ever going to go away in that sense. Like there's always going to be a demand for oil on canvas.
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be people that are more drawn to figurative stuff and more people that are exclusively collecting a certain kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I think that, like, there's also, like, a backlash to influencers and shit. Like, the whole culture is kind of really getting sick of the reality status quo. So, I don't know. I also think that hopefully what'll happen is the bubble will pop for AI and then everybody's going to be running like local models, that would be good. And I think I think right now they're just got such a hard on for like the future. Yeah. When I think it's going to hurt. Probably not more than going to war with Iran. Yeah. But it's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt. Because they have like, it's like, almost like all these stupid like rideshare models like Uber and Lyft, like they were getting all these different valuations, these super high valuations. That's what happens with all these AI models too. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, there's no way it's sustainable at all. It's not
private. It's that private equity thing.
Which, it's that also at some point it's got to pop too. Like it's too much. Like
I think ideally, basically what I was describing is like feudalism, where like you're tending to their land. Oh, you're making the product better.
Oh no, not the techno feudalism. I was just reading about the
Varoufakis.
Yeah,
Giannis Varoufakis. That dude is onto something.
He's on something. It's a fucking
sure. Well, I mean, he was there for he was like a populist Greek guy after the austerity measures, which is really crazy. But yeah. Anyway, man, anything that you wanted to talk about that I haven't really asked you about? I'm sorry. Like,
you're good.
I feel like I derailed us with the contempt that I expressed for performance art.
This is great. No, I'm having fun with this. Like, I'm a passenger in your train, man. Keep going. This is great.
No. What do you got going on? Like,
I mean, right now I'm like watching tons of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, really?
No, actually, yeah.
No, yeah.
No, yeah. I had to like. There comes a point where you just have to like go back to what traumatized you first as a child,
and that show traumatized,
and rewatch it as an adult and go, oh, I see why. Yeah, this was like exposing me to something that I didn't know.
Isn't that shit like super Catholic?
It is. To this day, they try to say, no. We just like the symbology of like, nah. This is like total
indoctrination.
This
almost
is total, not quite. But it's like frightening, like apocalyptic literature.
Yeah.
It's really like, I don't know, like I can't get enough of it. It's really good.
Do you know what I've been watching that's kind of reminds me of that a little bit is the Godzilla show on Apple. It's called Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
No, I've never seen that.
They go to Monster Island. There's like they're globe-trotting trying to chase down Godzilla and figure him out. It happens after the first movie where he kind of just disappears. But yeah,
I had to see that.
It's fun, but it's also like they torture their characters.
What good show doesn't? Honestly.
But yeah. Well, cool, man. I mean, we're about at an hour. Is there anything that you want to promote? Anything that you want to anything coming up? Obviously, your Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Instagram is the Bony King of Nowhere. Okay. It is a Radiohead reference.
Oh, okay.
For the uninitiated, it's this. Remember that one album? Did you listen to Radiohead?
Yeah. I'm a little upset about his political positions,
or lack thereof.
Yeah. I think there's like one of them married into some kind of thing, and he's like, I don't want to break the band up, but yeah, it's not an excuse.
Nah, seriously, it's like at some point you just have to be like, hey,
this ain't cool.
This ain't cool, bro. No, it's the Bunny King of Nowhere from the album Hail to the Thief. All the songs in that album had subtitles. So there would be like They're There, and then in subtitles, The Bunny King of Nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like that's where I got that from. And because I was like super skinny for like years. Grad school.
Yeah, you filled out. Grad
school, maybe? I'm like the heaviest I've ever been, and I'm not like.
You're not fat. You'd like.
Yeah,
this
is great.
Yeah. I used to have that like insecurity about like being scrawny and like a kid, and now I'm like, God damn it, to be scrawny again.
Dude, I was so scrawny. It's like 135 pounds for like years, and now I'm like 175. I'm like, man. And my mom's like, you still need to get bigger. I'm like, chill.
No, you're in a good weight. How tall are you?
Just like 6. Just under 6.
Yeah, you're I should weigh 175 because I'm like definitely over. I got a scale. I'm going down.
Good.
But it's such a funny thing. Like you're like, oh, I'm not hitting the high numbers anymore. That's how, because it fluctuates. I've never like weighed myself like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's like I'm not starving myself or anything like that. I'm just like not eating meat. Like, crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Like I used to just eat steak.
Yeah. Cutting like certain things, dude. Like, man, I didn't realize it, but like to gain good weight, it's like it's the carbs. You gotta watch the carbs because like that chunk is so full of like calorie. It's so calorie dense where you're like, wait, I wasted how many calories on this rice? Damn.
Rice doesn't bother me so much. It's more like the ultra processed shit, like fucking like lunch meats. I didn't know sliced bread. That shit is fucking awful for you.
It is.
Anyway, now we're lame.
Yeah.
There's no one under 35 in this room. Well, cool, man. I really appreciate talking to you. It's nice meeting you. Yeah. Cool. I'll definitely invite you to some dominoes. I'm trying to get some games going.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I played double 6 mostly. I don't think I've ever done double 9. So
double 9s.
I gotta study.
Double 9s is the shit, though. Yeah, because that's how you hurt someone with points. You leave them with the double 9.
Mm-hmm.
They hold on to that shit. Anyway, I was like, I'm telling my friends, I'm trying to get them all hyped up for the game that we got coming up, and I'm like, I printed out the list of rules, and it's like, Cuban dominoes. Part of it is being boisterous, and I'm like thinking to my friend who likes wrestling. I'm like, that's kayfabe, buddy.
That's the Ric Flair. That's when you got to come out and just.
You got to talk some shit. Yeah. It's not just playing the dice or no the fichas. I don't know how to say it in English. Anyway, thank you so much, dude.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. If you guys enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe. That really helps us promote ourselves, which helps push out our artists to a broader audience. All these conversations that we're having, I think, are something that would benefit people to listen to if they're interested in this kind of content. Some people don't want to think about the art world at all and just want to make art, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
But we are your studio companion if you want us. And comment down below. That helps us get the algorithm going. And if you would like to join our Patreon, you can join for $5 a month. You get early access episodes a week ahead of time, and you get to like kind of tease your friends and be like, oh, you don't even know what's coming. That big interview with that famous artist. That's how I felt when I had Ever Velasquez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, the gossip. And $5 a month, and then you get on our board with Tony Irons, M. Truskowski, Hiroshi Clark, Jackie Castillo, Ryan, Amir Zaki. I'm sorry, I need the list. It's not here. I'm missing one. My apologies. We'll be back next week with another guest and another topic that may or may not be art related.